places fogged up, kind of like Foxborough on Sunday night. You know, when Belichick found a way to win the rematch of Super Bowl 51? Right, because that's what helps you get to sleep at night, right? You fogging freaks. Anyway, we welcome you to another edition of Patshow. And let me tell you today, this will be some analysis that's not to be missed. See what I did there? Oh yeah, folks, we're going to recap Super Bowl 51, and we will further the conspiracies of Foggate. We'll also give you the best of Pat's Tweedia and preview Patriots Chargers, which should be a really super Sunday fun day in Foxborough. So without further ado, in other words that I have no idea what they mean, I bring you an all-new Pat Show. Hit it, you humps! 1, 2, 3, 3, 8. Wow! Let's go! Pat Show! Let's go! Pat Show! Let's talk about Brady and Edelman! Talk about Gronk and the Foggy dead! Talk about Leonard and the Lonely! Let's talk about Belichick and his team! Let's go! Pat Show! Let's go! Pat Show! Let's go! Pat Show! Let's go! Pat Show! This just in, folks. Nick Stevens questionable to return with puppet shoulder.
That was a puppet?
What?
That was a puppet?
No, yeah. Anyway, football freaks and gridiron geeks, Pat's pals, and Foxborough fanimals the world over, we bring you to your #1 source for Patriots fun and football analysis. That's right, it's Pat Show. I'm Nick Fitzy Stevens, alongside the Minister of Pat's Propaganda, Mike Dussault. That's right. When you need good X's and O's, you say, Mike, make it do so. Listen,
wow.
with all the friggin'
puns
with all the friggin' fog puns earlier, I'm not going to pass up on the chance to do that. This, of course, will be the Foggate breakdown of the great Super Bowl 51 rematch on Sunday Night Football. We'll preview Patriots Chargers as well. A little electro breakdown zone, show you some plays that were key in the Patriots victory. The best of Pat's Tweedia, and so much more. But first, let us give you our opening thoughts and a quick breakdown of the action Sunday night. We'll do that in the post-shift postgame, which of course is brought to you by our friends at Jack's Abbey, who make the delicious post-shift Pilsner.
Love it. Post-shift Pilsner. Post-shift postgame.
I love that we've got the show starts with a puppet. We've got a fog problem indoors, and we've got a disembodied voice that lives in a megaphone. You're not going to get this on all your Nessens, your Comcasts, your ESPNs. No. It's right here on Pat Show. All right, Mike, quick takeaway. I was happy with the way the Patriots played. This was, I think, their most complete game to date in the 2017 season. And this is when they needed to play their best football, because this was against a team that wanted to beat them the most, that needed to beat them the most. The Falcons had way more to play for Sunday night, not just because they're falling in the NFC South and they can't get their offense together, but of course, all of the Super Bowl 51 revenge. So how did you feel? Was this the Patriots playing well enough with Atlanta having a couple of missed? I can't. I'm sorry.
Just let them
I
fly.
know. We just got to be done with it. Yeah. With Atlanta not
Yeah.
seizing some opportunities, because, you know, if the Falcons took advantage of what was given to them or did their job, this could have been 23-20 in the fourth quarter. But instead it wasn't. It was a Pats runaway.
It felt like that signature victory that we've kind of all been waiting for. And as we said last week on Pat's Show, I mean, I know people have been killing the Patriots defense all year. But as I said last week, there was a good defense in there. And we just needed, on both sides of the ball, consistency. And that's what we finally got. You know, after the first half, it was almost like, oh my God, they played so good. Can they keep it up? And you had your doubts. And, you know, I admit before the game, it just felt like, we're going to get our asses kicked in this game. Like, Rodney Harrison picked the Falcons. I don't know. There was just this real bad mojo hanging over the team. And it's just another time in the Belichick-Brady run where you start to almost give up hope, and then all of a sudden they just deliver a win that is the kind of win that they have done over and over again, where you start to have doubt, and they deliver with just a great all-around performance. So it was excellent, you know?
If you thought that the Patriots were going to pull this off, I'd have said that you're crazy, and I would have put on a hamburger helper-sized white glove to slap your face with, because all season long, when some team has had their issues or hasn't been able to put it together, the Patriots defense has been the cure for what ails you, because obviously Carolina had their best game of the season. The Jets had their best offensive performance up until Sunday. Then you wondered, after they played that way in the first half against the Dolphins, hey, well, maybe the Jets are good. But everyone has looked their best against the Patriots. And Atlanta was stumbling, and their offense with Sarkisian instead of Kyle Shanahan hasn't been the same. So it was almost natural for us to think like, yeah, well, obviously Atlanta's going to get it together on Sunday night, and we'll just all default to, but Brady will save us. Yeah. Instead, the Patriots play a nice complementary game. You see all 4 running backs involved, which is great, and we'll get to that in a little bit as well. Brady plays well enough. I love game. A lot of people don't get sexed up by the whole Brady is efficient, doesn't throw 50 passes, 2 touchdowns. But I think, to me, that's Brady at his best. Hitting the key passes, dropping dimes to Gronk, beautiful, like a little worm burner he threw to Cooks that was right there on the ground. He looked great. It was that nice all-around effort. And Atlanta, I hate to say it, but whether it's Super Bowl hangover, offensive coordinator inconsistencies, or what, they're broken. And the Pats just further broke them. Yeah,
I think we finally saw the 4-headed monster running back, where all those guys are able to contribute, and you could see the balance. I mean, Dion Lewis continues to look like 2015 Dion Lewis, which is just the biggest X factor of all. Gillislee has that power. I mean, you just saw how it should all work. And I mean, I think they ran the ball maybe like 38 times, and they only had to pass it like 24, 25. So that kind of balance is just going to feed into everything. It protects Brady. The protection was good. And on the defensive side of the ball, I felt like the experimentation days were over. And so much of the early part of the Patriots season on defense, they're always mixing and matching. They're throwing other guys in there. You got Jordan Richards playing linebacker. And, we see that at the beginning of every year. And then all of a sudden, it's like they lock in on one game. You just kind of play your starters. You kind of get a sense of, all right, Dietrich Wise Jr., he's the guy at the right. Cassius Marsh is going to be the guy here. There's no Jordan Richards. And, and it just all clicked. Everybody was on the same page, and it looked really good. And I think, too, we should mention the special teams, played really well as well.
I hate to say it. I'm sure he's a terrific person. I know he's won, like, humanitarian awards, or he gets, like, community service recognition. But, like, hearing there's no Jordan Richards playing linebacker is like, remember when you'd go to school and there's supposed to be a quiz, and then your teacher, for some reason, would just out of nowhere just be like, the quiz is off today. And of course, we all become adults and realize it's probably because she found out her husband was cheating on her, or she got hammered last night. And
that's a dark turn.
Kids, there's no quiz today. And you're like, yay, no quiz. When I see Jordan Richards didn't play, I'm like, thank God. Yeah. And I'm getting to feel that way now too about Gilmore, and we're gonna get to that later on too. Yeah. Dude, Batamosi, man, this kid. I talk about just like somebody, if Belichick's rib was something where he just like pulls it out, and just like a Patriots player is born on the field, if Belichick is the Zeus and he just like pulls him out of the Aegis or something like that. This kid, who the hell is he, and why did it take this long for him to flourish?
Are we going to do this now, or are we going to?
No, all right, we'll get to that later too. All right, before we get to that, let's actually walk you guys through one of the best plays from Sunday. This was a great demonstration of Patriots' offensive unpredictability and creativity, almost even like a splash of probably the closest thing you'll ever see to read option for the Patriots. And with the continued evolvement of that offense, it was a perfect time for the Pats to run this play. This was the Brandon Cooks touchdown. Let's see it in the Electro Breakdown Zone.
Electro Breakdown Zone. All right. Very exciting.
First, we got to Belichick it up.
We're going to totally recreate how this thing looked here. I think we're really blowing out the All-22.
Right, let's see. What's it look like from the All-22?
We need more smoke. This is like mid-third. This is like mid-third quarter. Wasn't quite so bad. But this is just a quick example of how they're kind of getting more creative, and we talked a lot about how the bombs to Cooks. You don't want to see those plays where it's they're trying to force it downfield. So this was just a creative play where they have Cooks here come in motion across, and Brady's just gonna do the little shovel pass. We've seen kind of like versions of this with Edelman. When we'd run that quick one where he would actually Brady be under center and then just turn and hand it off. A jet sweep, which we saw the Falcons try to run him 4th down, which didn't work out so great for them.
Diagnosis Van Noy, one of my favorite new CBS shows. He just swallowed that play alive.
That was a good one. And here I think the most fun that I had was watching Cooks come across and then just watching Gronk run across. And him just following Gronk, and when you've got a guy like Rob Gronkowski running in front of you,
as the lead blocker or the lead Gronker, man. If you got the Gronk block, like all aboard the Gronk train, and Gronk Gronk even said that he could hear Cooks behind him at one point, just saying like, "Go, Rob!" And they call him Cookie. So it's you got Cookie and the Gronk. By the way, cannot wait for that show this fall
on CBS.
He's a little fast guy, and he's a big fiesta. Cookie and the Gronk, followed by a new episode of Boy Genius and Blue Bloods.
Oh, CBS.
I know exactly.
That's a good one. So this is and this is the first touchdown. So it's just different stuff that the Patriots are kind of throwing at teams and new things to be prepared for. For opposition.
I thought it was a handoff, but it ends up being like for those of you out there in fantasy land,
counted as a pass.
You got a Cooks touchdown and you got like a Brady passing touchdown,
Yeah.
and all he did was basically just be like, "Here, I can't, I don't want to hold that."
Yeah,
and
right.
Just like hot potato
Right.
it to Cooks. It wasn't even a handoff, and that's why I said it was like a little read option-y for the Patriots. And I don't think we had never seen it before, so the Falcons had never seen that before. But last week we talked about they didn't have Gronk, they didn't have Cooks, and they used the guys they didn't see in the Super Bowl 51 to great effect on offense.
Totally. And I mean, even if we look at the overhead shot here, you can almost see how the leverage. Why the see, this is it.
Now it's
as you can clearly see what happened right here.
Okay, how do you throw a pass in that?
I don't know. Don't ask Julio Jones. Julio Jones is still wondering that himself. So it's just a great, they had great leverage on the play, and let's run it here while we got the smoke. While we still got the smoke,
man.
Here we go.
I feel like this is a John
there
Cougar
goes Cooks.
Mellencamp concert.
Wrong way, Cooks.
Wait, Cooks, no, wrong way, Cookie.
Cooks down.
Pick up your block. No.
Cookie down.
Go,
Cookie down.
Go, this way. Go,
Rob,
touchdown. There
There we go. Hey, perfect.
Fantastic.
That's exactly it.
Thank
you to the Fog. That was great. Fog
That
machine.
was a great play. By the way, I feel like that was your electro breakdown zone. By the way, this just in. Next week's Patshow has been canceled because I have mesothelioma. Good Lord. I hope we did it all for you guys. We did it all for you. Wow.
It's the price you pay for
great
quality
play.
analysis,
It is. And like I said, like it was just a nice little wrinkle that play was. It was just a little bit unexpected. Edelman played such a key part in Super Bowl 51. You didn't have him, so how are they going to use the other guys? Talking about the running backs. Love seeing Deion Lewis. They didn't use him much in Super Bowl 51. He still didn't have it back. Now he's right back to where he was 2 years ago. Looks great. Little James White action. James White caught a touchdown, which was great. And I got to tell you, I don't think we've seen the full potential of what he's going to do.
Just do it.
Oh,
do it. Yeah.
God. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course you do, Boston guy. You love the white running back. Sorry, this is just brought to you by the, Adam Jones Society. Let's drop a banner down the green monster right now.
I want to see Burkhead with
awesome.
I want to see Burkhead with hair. Like he's like one of those ball guys where your daddy Warbucks. I can't imagine what he looks like with hair. Like he would just be like he'd walk into the locker room and be like, did we just draft someone? Who is this guy?
Yeah, right.
Ball Burkhead. But I know. Well, they eased him back in, and he had a couple good runs. He runs hard.
That's the thing. He runs hard. He
Yeah.
runs fearlessly. They hit him hard a couple times, pop right back up.
I think you kind of see how they want to use these guys, where it's Lewis and Burkhead are kind of the every down mix and match guys, short yardage, goal line stuff. You got Gillislee, and then James White's kind of your third down passing specialist. You see how I hope they all make it. I hope they all make it to the end, and then you've got that
they're all
problem.
healthy enough, because then they do have they present a host of offensive problems for an opposing defense. But I don't know, the Gillislee thing, though, like I even texted you during the game, like there was 3rd and 1, in came the jumbo package for Gillislee.
Yeah.
And just like when they telegraphed it in the Chiefs game, and that set them back a couple times, they did it again. They didn't convert on 3rd and 1. I think they're getting a little predictable with Gillislee. They haven't quite tapped into how to use him most effectively, whereas we know Deion Lewis is in form. I like what Burkhead brings, and James White is the full Patriots offense. Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, well, with the receiving ability of Burkhead and Lewis, it kind of gives defenses don't know what to expect, because both those guys are pretty good catchers. And I think we talked a lot about where the screen pass has been. We finally started to see some screen passes. They weren't really that effective in the first, but you're kind of seeing how it fits. But another thing I'd like to point out too, on the wide receivers, they're all kind of equal targets. So nobody's being force-fed. Nobody's being over-relied on. It's equal between Hogan, between Gronk, between Cooks, and they sprinkle in Amendola in the critical situation. So right now it's all kind of very balanced, and it was all working for most of the game.
And that's when their offense is working at its best. You don't get a force feeding of Dola. You just get a sprinkle.
Right.
Look, Dola is as clutch, is as Pats-tastic, and certainly as handsome as any other receiver or member of the Patriots, and ain't nobody going to complain about a heavy dose of Dola. But because we all know that he's made from spun sugar
Yeah.
on the
Need
inside.
him
You
in
want to just
January.
very gentle usage of the Dola whenever it's possible, because otherwise we know he'll be broken, and then I don't want to see him. I don't want to see the Dola get broken. He's way too effective at this point.
No, yeah, and they're managing him, and the other guys are coming
Right.
through, so it's
And it looks great. Also, quick thought: love the Color Rush uniforms.
Me too.
Absolutely,
I know.
absolutely.
Some people here at Media Boss aren't fans, but yeah,
Who's not a fan
I'm
of the
all
Color
right.
I
Rush?
thought they looked like third graders. I thought they looked like a team that didn't have enough money to have another color on their uniform. It reminds me of the old.
All right.
They're 2-0 in the all blue Color Rush uniform since last year.
I know.
budget.
And they only gave up that
No
one
budget.
touchdown. I mean, they
And I
had
like
a
that
shutout
little
against Houston. I know. I'm a fan. I bought one. I bought one.
Did you?
A Gronk.
You gotta be kidding. You bought one?
I know. Yeah.
Oh man, you
I
were
bought it
such
last
a
year.
sucker.
I bought it last year for our Welcome Back Brady bus. That was my very special new outfit that I wore.
Yeah, you know what? You
Thank
get a
Crab.
quick Tecmo cheer on that one. That's all you get.
They're good. They're
That's
good.
what I'm gonna call that from now on. I get one Tecmo cheer, please. Thank you very much. I like the uniforms. I think they look great.
Me too.
It's not the same as the 2002 all blue ones, which they
Yeah.
sucked in. These new Color Rush ones.
I want to see the 90s. Bring back the 90s. Do a 90s alt game, please, Patriots. You can keep your helmets. We don't have to deal with the
Right.
stupid NFL rule. And just bring
The
back the big
dumbest rule
Patriots
ever.
on.
That is the dumbest rule ever.
Oh, it is. It is.
And they're actually standing in the way of what they're all about, which is profitability, by not giving me a
Right.
chance.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see the Pat
Yeah.
Patriot. Everyone wants to see the Pats in white, red, and the Pat Patriot. Everybody wants to see it. Why can't we do it? Oh, because they have to
They
change
can't
the
afford a second set of helmets for an NFL
You
football
can't change
team?
logos. That's the whole thing.
baloney.
It's absolutely
I'm out.
asinine. Shocker, right?
Show's over. Let's
That's
go.
it. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I can handle them taking a knee, but I can't handle them changing the logos on the helmets. All right, so those are our opening, initial, and altogether awesome thoughts on the Fog Bowl, everything that happened Sunday night in Foxborough, the
good.
Super Bowl 51.
Patriots
rematch.
are back. They're
Patriots
still
are
good.
back.
They're not
I
dead.
think we actually now see
Yeah.
something resembling the complete team. And the Patriots, once again, when they're playing their kind of football, they're making the smart kind of plays that aren't dumb like the Falcons plays. Like the Falcons cost themselves a chance to get ahead in that game early on. That unnecessary. We saw it earlier. Cassius Marsh with the end of first half, roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Dietrich Wise with that in Tampa. Atlanta makes one big one on Sunday night. Who was it again? It wasn't Grady Jarrett. It was Adrian Claiborne.
Oh,
Hits
yeah.
Brady on that bad read to the
Oh,
end
that
zone.
was
The pick.
hit to the head. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
The little dumb things
Unnecessary.
cost you
That
unnecessarily over the
roughness
course
was
of the game.
unnecessary.
Yes, unnecessary. I know. When do you ever see necessary roughness, right? So there's our thoughts. That's the Fog Bowl. Pats are back. I think we got things moving together in the right direction. Let's take a quick look at your thoughts from Sunday in the best of Pat's Tweedia. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Nick,
graphic cards.
Just
Techno cheers.
before we hop right in, I think we've got a couple comments I want to share with you.
Oh, sweet.
Matt Pereira asked, Fitzy, that the sticker I gave you on your laptop?
Yes, it is. Check
Hey,
it out.
Thank you, Matt.
Right, because we haven't seen much of that. We haven't seen that.
Sticker I gave you.
Seen that meme? Yeah, there's nothing sexual about that whatsoever. I
And,
promise.
and one quick one from a friend of the show, Tim Borden, who says, Nick, I know you didn't go to the game, and I did, and they won, so it's safe to say if you get tickets to any future games, I should go in your place.
Exactly. Yes.
That's right, Tim.
Again, my continued self-imposed ban in Fox. How many games have they lost since I said I can't go to a game anymore?
I believe
Zero,
zero. Is
exactly.
the number?
Zero.
They're undefeated.
Zero.
It's the perfect season
Patriots are
without Nick
undefeated
Stevens.
in Foxborough since I said I couldn't go to games anymore. So shall we with the tweeting?
Let's hop into the
Excellent.
tweets.
All right, here we go. Right here.
We saw a lot of this. We saw a lot of this.
Are you proud of yourself? Like, do you feel like your life's work has been done and
I hope
accomplished
it
now?
isn't. I hope
you've
it
made
isn't.
an international, like you've created an international uproar with this meme.
Yeah.
A single idea for a T-shirt that ends up funding your family's private school, your Rolls Royce, your house with a moat,
Yeah, right.
your application to the Brookline Country Club
Yeah.
to play golf with Brady.
Well, maybe the house with the moat was a little bit much, but I just have always wanted a moat. So why not? When you've got
if I can afford a house with a moat, I'm going to get a house with a moat.
Yeah.
Atlanta will just never be able to escape that. It's impossible. I think you love this one.
Yeah, I love it. Well, anytime we can rub it in Mark Wahlberg's face about leaving the Super Bowl early, which I just find unforgivable. But say hi to your mother for me. But yeah, I mean, he must have been up there. I wonder if he left because he was like, I can't see anything. Let's get out of here. Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was my post-show order. All right, now
Great
all
one.
the different versions of the meme that we saw, the scoreboard meme, out there. It was on towels. It was on blankets. It was on shirts and flags and everything. But our friend Elaine at NYPatsFan21 saw two guys in the stands, and I'm sure they just got so tired of getting Instagram. But you know what? When you dress like this, obviously, you're calling for the right kind of attention. The human scoreboard, front and back, dare I say, in my full Guinness voice, brilliant! Loved it. Next. Matt Chatham, solid follow on the tweet box, and I'm going to tell you, he does quality analysis, and I'm not going to disagree. This is not hot takey at all. There's no hot take to take down this week. I couldn't agree with him more. I don't know who the ref was. It Sterator?
Yeah.
Was it Sterator?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Sterator, worst He-Man villain ever. Sterator, awful. Just like, oh great. Is this the episode where the He-Man villain just keeps telling him he's doing things the wrong way at Castle Grayskull? I can't stand Sterator. There's so many flags in the beginning of the game. It happened last night in the opening.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, Eagles, Redskins.
Just let them play.
Let them play. But then the Patriots started playing well, and before Atlanta really started stepping on their own feet or pissing down their own leg, the Patriots were just kind of running roughshod. And then for a while, it was weird. Twitter got positive. I was like, where am I? What is this?
No.
This is strange. People started saying nice things. I'm sure, I mean, you say more nice things on there than I do or find, but didn't you find that in the middle of the game?
It was scary because I was like, oh God, are they going to blow this? Like, especially where they started off so well, and it was like, I don't want to say, I'm like, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to the defense at this point hasn't allowed a single yard. It's like you don't want to get too positive, but I mean, I think everybody obviously loves to complain, but then like once you kind of see the real Patriots are still in there, it's like, okay, yeah, we're still good.
Can we live in a world where Pats fans are positive?
No.
Your predictions were way off.
Yeah. Well,
what were our predictions?
Like 30. We were both like mid-30s to low 30s.
Did I have 34-30 or something?
I think you had like 37-33, and I was like 35-34. But I mean.
See, you're right
predictions
there.
are stupid.
See, right? Yeah, exactly. Can't spell prediction without dice, which is what you have to roll to make a play.
Oh, I see.
You can't spell prediction without shut your mouth. And then just this one. I don't think I've actually ever read this before. The Patriots are good.
Yeah.
You're actually are we legally allowed to say that in 2017?
Yeah. Well, that's great. Doug Kai just sticking to right to all the people who just do nothing but complain about this defense is terrible.
Unfollows for saying.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's like. Are all these humps and halfwits going to find a way? Like, what am I going to do if I can't complain about the Patriots defense in 2017? And I'm just as guilty because I would never write like this defense is awful, that. I would try to at least find a creative way to do it. But at the same time, like now they've found a creative way to be competitive, and they're diagnosing offenses, and guys are making it in the right spot at the right time. So you know what? Right now, the Patriots, in an NFL full of mostly mediocrity, they're good.
I feel like maybe this is crazy to say this, but I mean, I feel like this game
crazy.
set the bar,
really
high.
Don't do it.
I don't know if the Patriots are as good as we saw against it. They had an excellent performance, but I don't think we're going to see that kind of performance every week.
Oh wow! Forecast calls for 100% chance of a
so just be ready.
shitty New England.
There's going to be some ups and downs still.
No, you're right. And then of course,
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Cue Belichick in the weather dominator.
Must be the
second quarter.
Right.
That's right.
I shall use my weather dominator. I, Destro, alongside the Cobra Commander, shall find a way to defeat the G.I. Joes.
Of course, the fact that Julio Jones, like, seriously, Julio, you are super good at football. You're terrible at keeping track of your own diamond rings when you go out on lakes in the offseason. But you are so good at football, and you actually walked into trying to accuse the Patriots of creating the fog. I mean, listen, the whole thing with like the radio broadcast in the headsets, and like the visiting locker room is cold. My papers went missing.
Yeah.
The camera in the stands. Michael Rappaport saying that Patricia's got a spy camera. Oh, there's a freaking pencil in his ear with his dusty hipster beard. Cumberland Farms. But, I mean, all right, of course we're going to celebrate and embrace this because it's literally, I say dumb things for a living all day, every day. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And it just undercuts all the other stupid, like, you're an NFL team, you're an NFL player getting paid millions of dollars. You're really going to complain about warm Gatorades and fog machine? Like, this is your excuse? Like, just get out there and play football. That's where games are
Right.
won between the lines. So you can talk about Spygate, however much air might have been deflated out of football. It's like football is a man's game that's won with physicality. Don't give me all that shit. It's just stupid.
This was
Thank you.
exactly. They did have the lighthouse going at one point. They needed the foghorn sound. I think Belichick and Collinsworth and Al Michaels said, like, well, I guess now we know why they got that light tower up there now. Did Chris Collinsworth also take?
He didn't mention Weinstein this week, though, did he?
No, he didn't. But Chris Collinsworth at one point mentioned that he took a duck boat tour, and he's like, "Hey Al, I don't know if you noticed. So you know what I learned this week? I took a duck boat ride. They don't pronounce their R's up here."
Oh, yeah. Shocker.
What?
Breaking news.
Is that what it took Chris Collinsworth 20 years to figure out a joke we were all tired of making of the 9? God. Anyway, awesome visuals, though, from the game. That was great.
Made the fog worth it, you know?
The all-22. Yeah, exactly. All the money Belichick and Ernie Adams spent. Operation Fog Stripes. Next one. All right. The 28-3 thing, I hope may it live long and prosper for you and everyone else who got into the business of the meat and the merch and everything. And everyone loves to try to figure out ways that, like, you know, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. The new aristocrats in New England is the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. But this one from Pat's Militia. Fog equals 3 letters. Take the alphabet and configure the letters to their numerical value. F falls 6th, O falls 15th, G falls 7th. That equals 28. The Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in Super Bowl 51. That is the deepest end of the deep dive that you are allowed to do. It is completely absurd, and it makes all the sense in the world. So with that, I now officially claim we have reached peak 28-3.
Yeah.
We're on to beyond 28-3.
Hey, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
And finally, yes, the many moods of Belichick. Love that.
I've seen that before somewhere.
I feel like I saw that 6 or 7 years ago when I made it. I know. Everything.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible merchandiser. Terrible show host and terrible merchandiser.
You got to get on the
You want
t-shirts.
to punch that guy?
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I know. What am I going to do? Be like Affleck in The Town, walk into Renner's apartment, like, I need you to go somewhere with me right now. You can't ask any questions. Like, all right, fine, let's go.
I do that for you.
I'll take that up on you, disembodied voice guy.
Not Paul's brother coming up
Yep,
with a
and
great
then
name.
Not Paul's brother. Our friend Paul here on Patshow found this on the Reddit. This is an awesome, brilliant thing. Who would not, if you go to a steakhouse, order the 5 golden rings? And priced right at $3.28.
Can you give us a little, like, with your intonations and your professional voice here, like,
5 onion rings, panko breaded and deep fried. Serve with a side of T-bone sauce. Patriots have 5 rings. Why shouldn't you have them too? Don't let this low price distract you from the fact the Falcons blew a halftime lead of 328.
Now, it wasn't a halftime lead. It was a third quarter lead overall. So they didn't get it right. But I think we and the other hundreds of thousands of people who celebrated that on Reddit can forgive them. All right. What a fun time. Price just right. Oh, I would eat that up. Hey, and you know what? It also was nice to see. I'm glad Brandon Cooks, who seems like an incredibly positive person. Again, this whole wave of positivity this week, I'm not used to it, but I think I can get to like it. It's like all the nice weather we've had in October. Like, what a pleasant surprise. Brandon Cooks, giving a shout out to all the Pats fans.
Shout out to all the Patriots fans for coming out watching on TV. We thank you. Go Pats, baby.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Nothing
half
hot-takey
the people in the stadium and on TV couldn't see anything, so I don't know.
First time they saw him alive.
They're like, thanks for nothing, Brandon. We didn't see shit.
I know. I heard from people that if you sat in the hundreds, you could kind of see the game the same way we played with our little London fog here. But if you're in the 200s, you lost it in the third quarter. And then basically from halftime on, if you sat in the seats that normal humans can afford in the 300s, nothing. Yeah. Absolutely nothing.
They had 2 sky cams at that game, and they used 2 sky cams for the first time in the NFL.
That,
and that's how they broadcast
this is what we're talking about, because what ended up happening is they had to do the behind the line view, which is really, the Madden view, which is really how football. I mean, when we do all 22s, everybody. I mean,
that's
anybody.
how football's played.
I know, right? Exactly. I know. But that's really. I mean, that's how you see everything, and everybody, who likes football, I think, was popping up on Twitter like, "Wow, this is amazing. We're finally getting to see."
Would you rather watch a game from? That's the question. 100%. Would you rather watch the game from the Madden cam?
100%. Show it from the Madden cam, and then for the replay, go up to the all 22.
What if when you're watching a game, they do this on ESPN for the national championship? They literally have like 9 different channels you can tune into. There's like the regular, you can just watch like the regular feed, then you can watch like the all 22.
Oh,
then there's the one which is a room full of
it should happen.
You can watch the game, but you can listen to a bunch of coaches sitting in a room.
Then they've got one that's like the Real Housewives of the 2 different cities that are playing. I swear to God, they've got like 8 different options. Would you watch it?
Tommy, throw the ball.
Exactly. It's insane how many different options they present. I think it's too much. But if you could, would you like, I don't know, let's say if you're watching a Pats game, would you want to watch your pals Mike and Nick and their Pats pals do like Patshow commentary on one channel?
Hashtag.
Would you
No, really, we want to know.
Hashtag make it so. No, actually, seriously, we need a sponsor. We want to make that happen. But would you want to watch it as a fan? Now knowing that people don't like going to the games as much, attendance is down, it's super expensive. If the options from watching at home got even better, would you buy in? I would pay an extra $5 to be able to toggle from standard network view to the Madden cam to like maybe like a sideline steady cam. It's just fun. Gives you a different perspective throughout the game.
Well, I think where it's going to go, and not to like get off topic here, but I think with virtual reality, eventually there's going to be a thing where you're going to put on a headset and it's going to be like you're sitting at the game and you are actually there in 3 dimensions watching as if you're sitting in the stands. But you know, I don't want to blow any minds here, but I think that's probably going to be what happens eventually.
Awesome. And then I want Jeff Bridges to do the introduction and the players to ride light cycles. In the game. So,
Tron.
Exactly. All right. So we should probably give you a little sneak preview of this coming Sunday's game. I don't think it's a trap game necessarily, but we're riding the wave of emotion very high off this game. And I think we need to get to know the Chargers a little bit because they're coming on. They've won 3 in a row. Before that, no hot takedown this week. However, I just want to lob this in your general direction. 2 things. 1, we need an update of the hoodie database.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then 2, following the hoodie database update, I need you to answer this. Patriots defense, this is so obnoxious to me, but I need to do it. Better without their most expensive player or not? Mike, take it over.
Oh, here we go.
All right. This is your wheelhouse.
But first we're gonna talk about a little hoodie action because now we haven't gotten there yet. Okay, but we're a few games away. The hot jacket, as we previewed in one of our earlier shows, is about to surpass the infamous gray hoodie here that we have BB wearing. That you all know what the iconic look. So in a few games, if he continues to wear it, weather permitting, of course.
Wait, most wins or most times worn?
Most times worn. He's still about, I think, 10 wins behind. It's a little bit, the win percentage isn't quite what it was. But we'll get to that when it happens in a few weeks. But there was very exciting news if you are a hoodie head like myself. This week, the Patshow Pro Shop have released a classic Belichick hoodie. So you can go. Now what happened was that was Reebok made the original one. So once the NFL went over to Nike in 2012, that original hoodie, could not be worn anymore. It was Reebok hoodie. That's why they started doing yearly Belichick hoodies, and every year you're going to fork out $85 to buy the new Belichick hoodie, which he may or may not even wear. That's another story. But now, Fanatics, they've got these real ones. So personally, this is big news to me. People are probably tuning out quickly, but
no, what are you talking about? This is for the kind of person that's going to be like, I never miss a Pat show, or I geek out on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, and if Belichick wears this thing,
does it? Would you not wear this?
Go to the Pats propaganda.
I would not get watch a Pats game naked under a Bella slanket. What if you could just get that as a slanket? Right? Or a camo, or as a snuggie?
Like, what would your wife say to you, though? You spent $85 on a sweatshirt, and then you proceed to cut the sleeves off of it. I don't think my wife would be happy. She's like, what? Your shirt got destroyed. What happened? Like, no, I did this.
Honestly.
It's for Bill.
The whole thing, if you're going to, that's like the kind of person who's just like, oh, my wife's my best friend. I don't keep any secrets from her. Get out. Just get out. Don't, please. Please, that's enough.
Well, there you go. Keep your eye out.
$85.
$85. Fanatics.
Oh, is there free shipping?
Yeah, probably not.
What a deal.
But you get a magnet.
Does it
get a schedule magnet?
Does it at least have like the? It better have like the koozie pop or something.
It's pretty accurate.
Like a little bottle popper in the.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some sweatshirts. No, they wouldn't, because Belichick wouldn't have that.
It's. I have the original, so I don't need to buy this one. I'm not. That's how I roll.
So you're telling us to buy it probably because you got a deal with Fanatics who's working at the pro shop.
I mean, I should get a deal on this.
What a backdoor plug that was.
All right. Let's talk about this other part you brought up, which is Stephon Gilmore. And so I'm just going to say this. Johnson Batamosi has played a very good 2 games. He's had a bunch of solo tackles. And when you look at him, now I'm not talking about Gilmore yet, but when you look at Batamosi, he kind of plays like Logan Ryan used to. He is not flashy, but he plays position, he tackles well, he's physical. And when you look at all the things of like he's a special teams guy, as you said earlier, it kind of seems like Belichick pulled out a rib and created him. Now, what the hell do you do with Gilmore? I don't know. Gilmore's got to be given a chance, right? But I'm just saying, Batamosi looks like a very Patriots corner that they would want to play.
Will the book be out on him like the same way a lot of times when you first bring in a pitcher, the first time through the lineup, the pitcher owns, and then the batters get a chance to see his stuff? Is there going to be they're going to finally get some tape on this kid, and he's just playing fast and physical right now? I think he's not as good in the long haul as we've seen, nor is Gilmore as bad in the long haul as we've seen either. Remember in 2014, Patriots defensively did something similar to what they're doing now. They started off in a lot of zone, much softer defense. I'm not sure if it was Revis getting his legs under him or if they didn't trust the defense and figure out what it was. But second half of the season, the 2014 Patriots defense was much better than it was to start the season. So maybe we're seeing a case of that now. Maybe they do understand they didn't do full due diligence on Gilmore, and they actually have to kind of play to a super expensive cornerback's shortcomings, which would be he's kind of just better in man. So you might this week just say to him, if you've recovered from hitting your head on the table after you watched how shitty you played the first 5 weeks, if you recovered from Belichick throwing the playbook at him or hitting him on the head with a Microsoft Surface, because he really did cost him big time early in the season, then this week, here, you get Keenan Allen. That's it. Just go find shade Allen, follow Allen.
Right, and that could very well be what they have to do. But when they signed Gilmore to begin with, my question was, okay, Logan Ryan never missed a game. Logan Ryan is a super reliable tackler, and those are the two things that are going to be the hardest for Gilmore to replace. And I know that he is a good man coverage guy, and he's smooth, and we've seen glimpses of that this year when they put him in man, and he's right there with the guy. And so there's obviously a use for him. But I'm just saying, when you look at the history of how the Patriots have never paid a cornerback, really, they'll give you 1 year, they'll give you 2 years, and then all of a sudden this year, they drop this Gilmore bomb of a monster contract on us and on Malcolm Butler, who played excellent and was, and you look at him, physical, good tackler, starting to make plays in the backfield now, which is something we haven't really seen over the course of his career. So it's going to have to be a development for Gilmore, and it's definitely something to watch, but I'm just saying.
Do you think, all right, hold on, I'll just throw it out there.
Fits.
Hashtag concussion gate. Gilmore concussion. It's a long hashtag, but what if he isn't really hurt and they're just like, just go home and just friggin' read.
Figure it out.
Just go home and study some tape.
Well,
we think we can handle these 2 games. And you would have thought, of course not, because you would want Gilmore against a Julio Jones, obviously. And Butler played him great. He even played the interception great. And Butler is the one who said, he even tweeted out an awesome picture of him almost getting the interception from Julio Jones and said, got to give credit where credit's due. Just a football play.
Yeah, I think probably what we're going to see is we're going to see more about Batamosi, and almost like they played with Rowe last year, where it was Ryan and Butler were the starters, and then they'd move Ryan into the slot, and they would stick Rowe on the outside. Something similar now with Batamosi. He's earned more playing time. He's added a physical element to the defense that they were certainly missing through those, and regardless of what you say about his development and all that, he deserves to play more.
Listen, I don't want to start a row, and I think it would be pretty bad in Mosi and me to not move on with the show. But obviously, Patriots can't take much Gilmore, so I hate me. It's the worst. It would really. The punishment ends right here. Okay, quick preview of Patriots Chargers, and of course, want to remind you that this Patriots preview is brought to you by our friends at Rockin' and Roastin' Coffee. Visit rockinandroastin.com and use promo code Patshow for free shipping and 15% off your order. That's rockinandroastin.com. Joey Kramer's wicked good coffee, kid. Now see, you need the post-show Pilsner to recover, the post-shift Pilsner to recover afterwards. You stay woke and you get caffeinated for the game with the Rockin' and Roastin'. Then after the Pats win, and you take a year off your life with every victory, then you have a couple post-shift Pilsners to chillax.
Yeah.
Also like the inclusion of the Chargers of San Diego logo.
Worst logo ever in professional football.
I know, because A, the LA Chargers logo is just dumb. It's just bad. And 2, they're going back next year. I mean, they can't even sell out a freaking soccer pitch. So.
Yeah.
Our new logo is not available.
We don't even. It's okay. It's fine. Just play a sound effect and they'll understand. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good, Paul. You do such good work anyway. Exactly. Oh, and hey, we have that's right. Sorrow Dog is here. The apology dog is here.
Hang out.
So,
it's all good.
Therapy dogs on the show. That's for the logo.
That's right. One therapy dog for the logo, please. Yosh, you're such a good boy. All right. So here's the thing. The Chargers started off the season with a series of losses that could have been wins. Patriots, also owners of a couple losses that could have been wins as well. But the Chargers did what we like to call Charger things. You know, last Sunday the Jets did Jets things when they lost a game. They were up big time. They could have beat the Patriots the week before. The Chargers, a lot of games where they throw picks, make mistakes, go down a bunch, stage a furious fourth quarter comeback, and then somehow botch or miss a field goal at the end of the game. So the Chargers could be 5-2 just as easily, even 6-1 heading into this game. Now they seem to have strung it together. They got good cornerbacks, they've got a hell of a pass rush, and they've got an assortment of wide receivers that if the Pats are down Gilmore and Rowe again, you'd think, well, like with the Falcons, they could present a challenge, but maybe these guys are up to it with Mike Williams, Terrell Williams, and of course, Keenan Allen. And hey, let's not sleep on Hunter Henry, who's probably the best backup tight end in football.
I
mean, he's no Dwayne Allen.
And I think that, as we were talking pre-show, that my favorite thing about the Chargers, they got two Melvins, which is just, you know, that's exciting. You know, double Melvins. We're going to get Melvin this weekend.
Double Melvin. Here comes the double Melvin.
A couple of things to point out. I mean, I think Melvin Gordon is a really, interesting running back because he, my notes here, 394 yards rushing with 3 TDs, 228 yards receiving with a couple 4 TDs. So he's a really balanced running back.
That's kind of LT-ish.
He's got exactly.
His game has come together.
So I think
he's a great back.
He's a big focus, and when you look at the running back coverage, and Pats have had some struggles with that kind of stuff. Van Noy has really been progressing, so I think this will be a good test for him. Maybe they use Chung a little bit on that. Another interesting stat that I'll point out is on third down, Keenan Allen has 30 targets, and the next closest guy has 7. So you look at on third down, the money down, you're going to really focus on those two guys, and I think and Phillip Rivers. I mean, we could go over we could do a whole show on the history of Phillip Rivers versus the Patriots. I went to the game, the 2006 playoff game was one of my greatest fan experiences of my life. The 2007 AFC Championship game.
We still owe Troy Brown.
And
who did he take the ball away? Marlon McCree.
Took the ball away. And the game was over. If it wasn't for him. And so it's always interesting when the Patriots are going to play a good quarterback who can make some plays, and the Chargers certainly have some weapons. And starting with those two guys, I think they need to focus on. Again, I think the Patriots just need to focus on them, do what they were doing, continue to do what they do, and just build off of last week.
Belichick always takes away one guy or two guys, and they doubled Julio Jones a bunch during that game, and then they decided to let him play a little bit in the fourth quarter when they'd built a lead, caught some passes. Who do you think that they say, all right, we're not letting blank beat us? Are they not going to let Keenan Allen beat them? Are they not going to let...
I think it's on third down. It's Keenan Allen with that 30 targets. I mean, it's clearly he is the, and
he'll be doubled on every third down.
Yeah, and I think you got to watch Hunter Henry. I mean, I think he's one of those sneaky guys who, is kind of under the radar until, he gets open and makes some big catches. But I think the down-to-down guy to really focus and identify him is Melvin, number 1. Melvin Gordon. See where he is, identify him, and make sure, because a lot of times what they're doing is they're going to do play action, and he'll run right out and just run a little flare, and, he's wide open in the flat, and then he takes it to the house. So he's an effective player.
He's fast and he's tough, too.
Yeah.
On offense for the Patriots, you got a furious pass rush with Joey Bosa. And then you got Melvin Ingram coming around the way. Bosa. Yeah. Joey Bosa's the real deal.
Yeah.
He's a damn good football player. So they can generate a pass rush, and the tackles, this is not a newsflash to anyone, have had their issues with some speed rushers on the season. And by the way, just as a quick reminder to everybody, you can get frustrated with his on-field play because you're a fan, and that's your prerogative. However, just go ahead and tuck away that mean tweet or whatever you were going to say that's snarky on social media about Nate Solder for another day, because
Where do I tuck it?
I'll tell you where you can tuck it, back in your bad idea hole, because unfortunately his son has gone back into chemo treatments as well. So fingers crossed for a speedy recovery, and we hope that Nate Solder's kid gets healthy much sooner than later, because cancer sucks, but it can really GFY when it comes after a kid. So the fact that he's out there playing now takes me from insert bad Nate Solder tweet to I'm rooting for this guy.
Right. You forget they're people and that they're going through things in their real life.
That's fine.
I mean, Harvey Lange got out of the hospital this week too, which was good news. Him and his wife after the car accident.
I know. Did you watch that video? If you really want to get the feels, there's a video out there. I think it's on Harvey Lange's Instagram, where he basically was separated in the hospital for 3 days from his wife, and they see each other for the first time, and you're just like, got Dusty here. Dusty man, football, video alert. I see the Patriots trying to run just what they do again. I'm curious to see what the wrinkle will be this week. I'm not sure. All I know is that the Chargers have a good pass rush. They haven't gotten whooped yet this year by anybody.
Yeah.
And last week they did what it seems like a lot of teams are capable of doing now, which is stymieing the Broncos' offense. That gives me hope for later in the year. Except now the Raiders are getting good again, and they found their offense.
It's all fluid.
It is. It's such. That's
week to week.
That's like
changes.
the best way to describe the 2017 NFL season. It's all fluid. It's just going to keep changing.
Just enjoy it.
Right. Just go along for the ride.
Temper
the expectations.
Everybody gets so wrapped up in who the favorites are and who's going to go to the, no, they suck. You know, it's like, it's sometimes, I mean, for me, it's just, I almost look at, I was saying, I think to Paul, it was like, I look at it like a Lord of the Rings novel sometimes where it's like you just have these like campaigns and it's like, well, who did we lose and how do we, how do we refocus? How do we try to get better? And, instead of focusing on, because you can have a terrible game and not be terrible. You can have a great game and not be great. So it's just, we'll see. It's a long way to go. More guys are going to get hurt. Guys might come back. Shea McClellan, I can't believe it. I'm like, come back, Shea. We need you, buddy.
Wow. What sort of hole of horrors has we fallen into when we're like, please. We're just like the projection coming from R2-D2 of Mike Dussault being like, help me, Shea McClellan. You're our defense's only hope. Oh, my God. But of the 3 guys on IR designated to return, and we may find out next week, pretty soon, actually, after the bye week, some of the guys may start coming back. We'll tackle this next week in the bye week episode of Patshow. You got 3 guys, Vincent Valentine, Malcolm Mitchell, you got Money Mitch, and Shea McClellan.
I think it's Shea only. It sounds like Mitchell. I sound like Mitchell might not, and so it might be Valentine. Who, I mean, they don't, with Lawrence Guy, they don't totally need him. So But McClellan's the big one.
There's no team that's going to say, what we can't use is another really solid 325-pound run stuffer. But I feel like they can find people to throw the ball to.
He was playing well at the end of
I don't need him. What am I going to do? What am I going to do with this extra brick wall? Yeah, all these brick walls I have are totally going to last. Why would I need another one, right? All right, so I got this coming Sunday. I got 30-24 Patriots.
30-24. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be as close. I don't know. I just feel like this one, they're starting to click. They're going to pick up some steam. They got the bye week on the other end of things. So I'm going to say, like, Pat's like 33-17.
I'm a Chargers fan. I'm going to go to the game.
They don't even go to the games in Los Angeles.
You lost me at Chargers fans. There aren't any. They don't go. Yeah, I mean, if they can't go to their own actual games, it's such a messed up situation. Phillip Rivers takes a car 2 hours from San Diego each way.
I went to the game in San Diego.
Spends more time in traffic than he does with his 19 kids.
In 2014. It's true though. I mean, and he's got like 20 kids.
He literally does.
I went
Every
to the
time
game
Cromartie has one, Phillip Rivers is like, hold my non-alcoholic beer. Hold my non-alcoholic beer.
I got this. I went to the game in 2014 there. You might have remembered the Edelman touchdown. He broke a long touchdown, but it felt like a Patriots game. And even after the game, Belichick commented, like, I couldn't believe the support. And I mean, obviously it was me there leading the charge. And I'd like to, say, you're welcome, Bill. But it was, you could already feel people are sick of that stadium. And, even when the Chargers are good, it was hit or miss.
Like you said, it's a fluid situation. It would be fantastic. Given everything that's gone on with the Pats, the piss and moan we did about the defense, the offense trying to find its way, losing Edelman, righting the ship, trying to keep Gronk upright, getting all the running backs together. If they can head into the bye 6-2, even with the AFC East being a surprisingly spry and competitive division, Dolphins look pretty good. Buffalo's found a way to win.
They're gonna hammer
we'll find out what happens when they play Thursday night in Baltimore. Baltimore has no offense to mount, but if Matt Moore goes into the teeth of the Ravens defense, maybe Baltimore could do us a favor. And they could be all alone atop the AFC East. All right, folks, that's Pat's Show, episode 111, The Phantom Menace. We'd like to thank our friends here at Media Boss, Ian, Aaron, Paul.
Wait.
Oh, that's right. I do this every week. We always end with it. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just check my copious show notes, the closed laptop. All right. I did it. And I'm even told before every show, okay, before you say thank you, run the Moment of Zen upon further review videos, then do the thank yous. And what do? Start the thank yous. We need a boo sound.
They're not booing him. That's it.
Pretend I'm the Patriots defense against Carolina. There we go. Okay. Bad moves. All right. Thank you. All right.
That's Tecmo mad crap.
We end with upon further review. These are our favorite little Moment of Zen videos we find each week. And this week we actually found 2. We couldn't even make up our mind. So here's Moment of Zen number 1 upon further review. This one is, which one? Oh, is this the soccer goal?
Soccer goal.
The soccer goal. This is the best physical manifestation of the 328 meme that's not the 328 meme, because no matter where you are in life, remember, it's never over till it's over. Watch this. All right, so this guy goes up, takes the shot. Ready?
What sport is this again?
Hits the crossbar. This is the football with an F and a U.
Oh.
Which is exactly what this guy gets served when it bounces back in and scores the goal. Unbelievable.
It's like, is this like a, it's like a men's league soccer game or
It
something?
doesn't even matter. It's gone viral because it's just so unbelievable. It's not over till it's over. And now, the other upon further review. This is easily the creepiest effing thing I've seen. I don't know if this is his mom, if this is a stranger, or if Child Protective Service. You know what it is? It's like the most Jacksonville thing ever. It's a kid. It's a kid making it.
Call the cops after this.
We probably should. Judge for yourself.
Give me some sugar, baby.
What?
I know. That's not just like why do you what the hell? You kiss your mother with that mouth? Literally.
He's like, it's like Emmanuel Lewis. Like he's like, you know, he's really 30 years old. He's a millionaire.
Like you've seen those videos of I've seen those viral internet videos of Filipino kids or South American kids spinning cigarettes and doing tricks, but they're not kids. They're weird 30-year-olds. I don't know. I could not sure. Okay.
Stuff I wish I could do.
Exactly. All right. Now you've seen those videos. Now once again, we'd like to thank everyone here at Patshow. On behalf of my co-host with the co-most, Mike Dussault, visit him at patspropaganda.com and follow him on the tweet box at patspropaganda. For Ian, for Paul, for Aaron, for Yoshi, for all the dogs that walked through, for the mouse I saw over there earlier, for the fog machine. I saw the mouse. There was a mouse. There was. I didn't miss the mouse. Trust me. I missed wrapping up the end appropriately. For our friends at Jack's Abbey Craft Lagers and their delicious post-shift Pilsner. For Joey Kramer's Rockin' and Roastin' Coffee. For Amazing Larry. For Ron Burgundy's Glass Case of Emotions. For everything. For the people that make frozen Kit Kat bars. We want to thank you guys for watching another episode of Patshow. You can follow us on the socials at PatShow6. I'm Nick Stevens. Follow me at FitzyGFY. Let's go, Pats. Beat the Bolts. We'll see you next week for the bye week episode on the other side of 6 and 2. That's how you do. Hit that theme music. Woo. Do it.
1, 2, 3, 28. Wow! Let's go! Patshow! Let's go!